Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for November 12th, 2024. We're almost at the end of the year. We'll probably say that at least 4 or 5 more times. Hope you're all having a fantastic night so far. Of course, my name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your beautiful co-hosts for the show. So, before we kind of dive into the stories today, we did have a comment that came in from Nadia over at Horror and More. It says, yo ho!
Pirate's Life for me.
Is that a ride you guys went on today?
No, that was like a 50-minute wait.
Well, I thought it was going to be themed to the visit.
No.
But hope you're all having a fantastic week so far. But, of course, it is time to get into some of these news stories. But, Kevin, how have you been over the last week?
I'm good. I got to stop this puppy from getting my tag.
That would be a good idea. But as far as... while he's dealing with that, I have my week's been okay so far. Sorry, we're on a Tuesday this week again. I unfortunately have a work conflict that came up for the next 2 days, so I needed to do today. So, thank you all for joining us if you can. But let's go ahead, and as Kevin wrestles with the dog, let me go ahead and I'm going to jump into the first story here. We are, in fact, as of yesterday or Sunday, we are getting a new Star Wars trilogy. It is on the way from the X-Men producer and Star Wars Rebel co-creator Simon Kinberg. This news is pretty. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. On one hand, I don't know if doing another new trilogy is going to be the way to go with this, but it is from one of the producers of the X-Men movies, and he's a co-creator on Rebels. So,
yeah,
which is a fan-loved show. I thought that would get a little bit more positive reception, but it seems like everyone's pretty kind of mixed on it, as is usual with anything Star Wars. But yeah, I mean, cool. The rumor is stating right now that it will not tie into the Skywalker saga at all, and will be a all-new story with all new characters. Hopefully we finally get Old Republic stuff. Like, not High Republic. I want Old Republic. I want Sith Empire is what I want. But
yeah, and I like how they're going without the Skywalker series. It's just a brand new fresh, hopefully, but it's like a refresher series a little bit. Again, the world is so expansive. It can be a trilogy of something, just different people. Perfectly okay with it.
Exactly. Just don't tie it into anything already if you can, but we'll see what they do.
We'll see what they do. Yep. Next up, early reactions called Nosferatu a horror masterpiece and worthy of an Oscar attention. I know you're very excited for this movie that is coming out. I'm okay on it. I'm on the fence. I don't want to be overly hyped and then kind of have that be played down a little bit when I go see it.
Sure. Yeah, I think these are just reactions, so we'll see when the actual reviews come out, whether or not this is going to be, highly reviewed or not. Hopefully it will get recognized for at least some of the major awards come Oscar season, because the last time we got a horror movie nominated for really anything was Get Out. So, more big news this week. The first Avatar Fire and Ash concept art pieces have been revealed as the film is officially entering post-production. And a lot of it looks exactly the same as the other stuff we've gotten. There are a couple pieces that do show the new red Avatar people, as in like the fire tribes. But it's not like up close and personal images. It's just, from a distance.
Far away images.
Still waiting to see some sort of footage or trailer or something. It will probably be the end of, I think it's coming out in 2026, I think. Let me double check that. Oh, no, it is coming out later in 2025. So
it'll probably be pushed back. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But if it's anything post-production now, it means they have over a year. So they're going to be, they'll be fun.
Gotcha.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Next up, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, and Zendaya will join Christopher Nolan's next film. Cool. Again, I want to know what it's about, though. That's the main talk.
Yeah, 3 great actresses joining the cast, so pretty stoked.
Where's Lupita from?
Lupita Nyong'o has done a couple movies like 12 Years a Slave. She was just in A Quiet Place, the newest one. I can't remember the...
Day One.
Day One. She was the main actress in that. And then she was
okay.
also... she played the robot in The Wild Robot. So,
okay. Gotcha.
she was also in the new Star Wars trilogy. She was the Maz Kanata. So,
okay.
But yeah, so super excited to see them join the cast. Up next, the official reviews for Gladiator 2 are in, and when I checked it earlier, the review score was pretty decent. As of right now, it's on a 67 on Metacritic, and just for... That's actually the same exact score as the first one. So that still holds true what I wrote on there. It seems that it is just as good as the first.
Nice. Good. I can't wait to see the water scene. I feel like it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. I think that comes out next week.
I think so, yeah.
I'm trying to make sure Gladiator 2 releases on November 22nd, so we're next week. Yeah. So we'll talk more about it then. Yep. But speaking of Gladiator 2...
Speaking of Denzel Washington announces a video interview that he's being written a part in Black Panther 3 and that Ryan Coogler will return to direct it. Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Quite a very high quality actor bringing his talents to the series. Interesting to see who he will play in that. But
interesting.
Black Panther 3 hasn't even been announced yet, and Ryan Coogler was not announced to return to direct, so this is like... I'm sure Marvel's not very happy with Denzel right now, but hey, who knows?
Hey, it is what it is.
But he did say this will be one of his last films. He says he has about like 3 or 4 movies left in them. So
nice.
Next up, this is kind of shocking. The first reviews for Wicked are out, and they are calling it the best stage-to-screen adaptation in years. So extremely positive reactions coming out from everything going on for Wicked. I don't
getting negative things when it was first released, or was that just the trailers that?
No, just reactions to the trailer. I don't think any of its trailers were particularly good. But yeah, there's no official reviews yet, but the first reactions have been insanely positive. So
we'll see.
Alrighty.
Yeah, with a little bit of sad news though, Tony Todd, the actor who was in Candyman, the original, and in Final Destination, has passed away at the age of 69. I feel like we just saw that he was at, I don't know if it was CreepyCon IE or Monsterpalooza, but he was just there signing autographs. So it's very strange how one day it can just, in a month or two, it can just change in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's some really sad news. Hopefully he was able to finish his work on the new Final Destination movie. For those of you who have PlayStation 5, he was also just Venom in Spider-Man 2, the game. So, it's a loss that's going to sting. So, but moving on, Marvel is officially obsessed with Channing Tatum's Gambit, and they are weighing their options with the character.
I mean, they have to. He was a basic Deadpool and Wolverine. He was almost the star of the show, in a way. I feel like. I mean, he's so quotable and memeable, and that's why. I mean, they have to do something with him.
Yeah, it's also just a character people have wanted to see on the screen in that way for a very long time.
And it didn't look gimmicky as well. It looked like, oh, that was cool. Like,
it looked good, like they were actually handling the character well.
Yep.
So, can't argue with that.
Nope, can't argue. Next up, production has begun on Ice Age 6. No one asked for it. I don't know if anybody wants it, but
nope. We're getting it. Still a piece of movie news, so had to put it on here. But that franchise should have been dead and buried a long time ago. But moving right along, Daisy Edgar Jones, fresh off her successful movie Twisters, is in negotiations to join the live-action Prince Charming movie from Disney. This is based on Prince Charming from Cinderella, I believe, and Chris Hemsworth is playing Prince Charming.
Oh, I thought it was Snow White.
Yep. This is it's all the pictures on the article had Cinderella, so that's why I'm going to say it is.
Oh, okay.
But Chris Hemsworth is playing Prince Charming in this film, so I'm all for it. Daisy Edgar Jones, she's a really talented young actress, and she needs more room to shine in different kinds of roles. She's done like some not horror, but like thrillery, true crimey kind of TV shows. She's done a big budget movie with Twisters now. She also did Where the Crawdads Sing, which was not my favorite movie in the world, but a lot of people really enjoyed that movie. So she has the chops. So I'm all for it. So
whenever I hear Prince Charming, though, I always think of Shrek. I don't think of like any other Prince Charming. So
well, that's your fault.
Yeah, I know. Silent Night, Deadly Night Silent Night, Deadly Night, reimagining in the works. Director and release window announced. Director of Wrong Turn and VHS 85 is going to be directing it, and it releases in late 2025. Cool. I mean, they just pop up out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see on anything from it. No word on stars or anything like that yet. So if you're a fan of Silent Night, Deadly Night, which I don't know if Nadia's seen it, you'll have to let us know. But we're getting a reimagining. So
I mean, but think about it. We haven't heard anything about this movie, but it's late 2025. It is almost 2025, and we haven't seen anything.
Well, it's almost a year away.
Yeah, but like some big. Well, I guess this isn't a big.
This isn't like a Marvel movie or anything like that. Yeah,
that's true.
But next up, a little bit of sad news here. Mickey 17's release date was delayed again, and is now going to be releasing on April 18th. Mickey 17 is the new film from the director of Parasite, Bong Joon-ho. So I'm very excited about this movie. I don't know. I think you liked the trailer as well.
Yeah, it was interesting concept.
So yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to this, but unfortunately I have to wait just a little bit longer.
Okay. Hey, they gotta do some editing. Next up, Idle Hands is getting a remake from Jason Reitman and Finn Wolfhard. I didn't see the first one, so no, didn't pop in my mind or anything like that. Have you?
Yeah, I covered it. This is from the director of Ghostbusters Afterlife, Jason Reitman, on several other films. That's just the most recent one he's done. Then Finn Wolfhard is the star of Stranger Things and It, and now
the tall, lengthy one.
Yeah, the tall, lanky guy with the black hair.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see if that ends up how that ends up doing, and if it even happens. So
okay.
And last up here today, AMC Theaters, specifically their CEO, is confident that Moana 2 will outperform, or could outperform, very important to say that C word, could outperform Inside Out 2. I don't know about that.
I think it's going to be a close race.
I can see that.
I can see it being like, oh, it's catching up. And then if it surpasses it, I don't think it's going to be by a lot.
Yeah. I can tell you, I feel like I've not seen as many trailers for Moana 2 as I did for Inside Out 2.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. Yeah. But Moana 2 is kind of more of a kid movie. I don't know. I don't want to say it like that, but more like you would go see it multiple times with kids, if that makes sense.
Sure. I think Inside Out 2 is a little bit more applicable to all different ages. So I don't know. I mean, Moana 2 is too, because Moana is probably one of Disney's best movies of the last 10 years, I would say. So, I mean, who knows? It could, it could, but probably not, though, if I had to make an assumption. Alrighty, but that's going to be it for the news stories this week. So let's go ahead and dive into some of these comments here. Nadia says, "There's my daughter."
Yep, Millie. Yep.
Dying watching Millie in the background. Speaking of Wicked, did you all hear that they had to recall the dolls because they linked the wrong website on the box? It linked to an adult website.
Oh, really?
Which is really funny. Someone is getting fired.
Yep.
R.I.P. Tony Todd. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. That one especially stings for like the horror community for sure, and the voice acting community too, because he had a very good voice. There's six. There's five. There's going to be six. I thought there were only two. Nope. There's Ice Age. There's Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Collision Course.
Yep.
I don't remember the other names of the other ones.
Yeah,
But...
you know, they're getting like celebrities in it. Like Nicki Minaj was in one of them, and Drake was in one of them. I don't remember what movie it was, but it's like, okay, you're just grabbing everybody that you can now to be in a movie.
Yep, exactly. There you go. I didn't even know there was an Ice Age 5. I want to go ahead and just double check this. All the movies in the Ice Age series. Let's see.
I think you
here.
had them all right so far.
There's Ice Age, The Meltdown, Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Ice Age Continental Drift, and Ice Age Collision Course. So yes, and several short films. But this is the first one that'll be done under Disney. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's see here. First Ice Age movie is the best one. Yep. I agree.
Yep.
Yes, I've seen Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's good, just not a fan of the sequel, which is just the first movie as a flashback. Okay, cool. Good to know. But hopefully the remake has piqued your attention.
Is that Garbage Day? Nadia will know what I'm saying, and she'll probably...
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I think it is.
It might. I don't know. I don't know what movie that's from. I just know
Garbage
Day.
Garbage Day.
One of the best lines before the kill in any movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yes, she says yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. So one shining part of the movie.
It's the second movie too. It's not even the first movie.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But let's go ahead and jump into the trailers that came out this week. Anything stick out to you this week, Kevin?
I mean, the first two always stand out to me. I'm a Marvel guy, but I love how the Thunderbolts, the kind of like the end of the trailer, are like, we're called the Thunderbolts, and it goes, no, we're not sticking with that name, and that's why the asterisk is there, because they don't want to be called Thunderbolts. And I thought that was very clever. So
yeah. I'm going to say Thunderbolts as well. I think Brave New World looks like it's going to be pretty good as well, hopefully. I mean, it's kind of hard to have really any major hopes for a Marvel movie anymore, but we'll see how they do.
I think the New World it's going to be a different movie. I feel like it's very
more like Winter Soldier for sure.
Yeah, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like Winter Soldier was really good, so
yeah, hopefully it's good. I don't think Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning is that interesting. That franchise is just kind of lost me.
I forgot it was coming out.
Right. Mufasa: The Lion King. I think the movie still looks like it's going to be pretty good. I'm very confident in that director, so I'm excited for that. Everything else is just kind of an indie movie that didn't really stick in anything to me. So, but I'm going to say Thunderbolts, and it sounds like that's what Kevin was going to say too.
Yep, that's what I'm going to say too.
But let's go ahead and jump into Kevin, the movies that came out last week.
Still Venom on top, The Last Dance with 15.9 million. And then it's Heretic with 11 million, which, hey, good strong opening, I feel like. Wait, right?
Yeah, for an A24 horror movie, it's pretty strong.
The best Christmas pageant ever with 10.8 million. Not even Christmas. Yeah, it's not even Thanksgiving, so we can put that in the back burner. Wild Robot still up there with 6.6 million. Smile 2 still hanging in there, 5th place with 5.1 million.
Yeah, really impressive that the Wild Robot is still in 4th place and it's available to rent and own at home already. So that's impressive that people are going to the theaters to still see it. That gives me hope that the theaters will stay alive.
Well, the thing is too, I was looking on Regal because sometimes I like looking on there at showtimes. Wild Robot is still playing like maybe 5 showings a day.
They're getting a lot of people in there.
That's really good if you think about it.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and move right along. We do have some comments though. Let's go ahead and get to them. Final Reckoning's poster ripped off the original Highlander poster. It's becoming a meme. Interesting. Let me check and see here. I didn't see the poster. Interesting. All right, cool. Thunderbolts looks better than Captain America, judging by the trailers. I think so too. I think Captain America still looks,
It's gonna be different.
It's
gonna be different, and that's okay.
I don't know. I'm excited to see Harrison Ford Hulk out.
Yeah.
So, and then Venom 3 is at it again. I mean, it's the big blockbuster movie that's out right now. So it's gonna stay there, and it's been good. It's been a lot of people have been posting some popular stuff about it online. So. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and get into the movies that are coming out this week, though. And starting it off is probably one of the lowest rated movies to come out in theaters in a while, Red One. After Santa Claus, codenamed Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas. This movie did not look good from its trailers, and I'm glad to see that I was calling it. It's currently got a 36 on Metacritic, so if you're interested in it, go see it. But sounds like it's not that good.
Okay.
Next up is Ghost Cat Anzu. Friendship shared between Karen, a strong-minded girl sent to live with her monk granddad in the Japanese countryside, and Anzu, the even more unpredictable phantom feline who acts as her guardian. This looks very similar to kind of like a Studio Ghibli type film. So if you like anything like those, kind of a little bit more fantastical mixed with the real world, sounds like it'll appeal to you. I mean, I actually might go check it out. I've seen posters for it all over the theater this weekend. Up after that is Bogart, Life Comes in Flashes. This explores the iconic actor's journey to stardom through his relationships with his mother and 4 wives, includes Lauren Bacall using rare footage and his own narration to offer an intimate portrait of a deserving star. For those of you who don't know, Humphrey Bogart, one of the biggest movie stars ever, starred in one of our movie club movies, Casablanca, among many others. So very excited to check that one out. I'm a huge sucker for Hollywood and Hollywood history stuff. And lastly, we have Christmas Eve in Miller's Point. On Christmas Eve, a family gathers for what could be the last holiday in their ancestral home. As the night wears on and generational tensions arise, one of the teenagers sneaks out with her friends to claim the wintry suburb for her own. This just looks like one of those kind of feel-good holiday movies with a bunch of old and young people. And
I thought it was going to be like a horror movie.
Nope, it is a holiday dramedy. So
dramedy.
Yeah, drama and comedy. So.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Well, you're gonna hear it from more often. That's my new nickname for Kevin. Is dramedy.
Dramedy.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyhow, it's one with the black and white. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Fox Pixar. Alrighty, but that is it for the scripted part of today's show. I feel like we got through all that pretty quickly today, which is nice. To spend a little bit more time talking with y'all about what we watched this week. I watched 4 movies outside of the wheel spins, and Kevin watched 2, so I feel it's fair. I could do 2, then you do 1, I'll do 2, and you do 1.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. But to do that, we gotta change up the music a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into it. And like last month, I did 31 days and 31 movies for Halloween. This month, I'm trying to challenge myself to do movies that are iconic or like, one of those movies that everyone's seen,
like a cult,
but
classic,
I haven't.
Kind of.
No, not even that. Just like like when when someone's like, "Have you seen this movie?" and you're like, "No," and they're like, "How have you not seen it?" Like, right? Like, for example, I've never seen E.T.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a huge Spielberg fan, so it's like things like that, right?
Okay.
So kind of iconic movies that I haven't seen before or that I haven't reviewed yet. So for example, I watched American Psycho over the course of this last week. First time that I've reviewed it. I have seen it before. But for me, I think that on this most recent viewing, I just didn't find myself connecting with it as much as I used to. It's a well-shot movie, and it has a fantastic performance from Christian Bale in it. He's such a fun and unique killer, just as unhinged and crazy as he is like cool and collected. Gotta give him props too, because he's standing up to his friends who are just spouting anti-Semitic shit. So that's, stick up for what you believe. But I don't really find myself kind of super engaged the whole time. I think that it's a movie full of great moments, but not a lot that ties those moments together. At least on this most recent viewing for me. I think the ending's okay. I get why there's a lot of debate about it. It's fine. I don't know.
Mm.
But this time I was just kind of lukewarm on it.
Okay.
Up after that, I watched Dirty Harry for the first time. And yeah, you couldn't make this movie today. But I mean, aside from kind of things that it it's a product of its time, which we can't change anything of that. We can just appreciate what we do get. The film is a fun ride with enough twists and action that it holds your attention throughout the entire film. The middle section of this movie is where it sags a bit for me, where I found myself getting a little bit bored. But it's whenever Clint Eastwood's on the screen and he's the one that's there, it's fantastic. He is great in this movie. He brings that gruffness and cowboy persona that he has to 1970s San Francisco, and it's kind of interesting how it fits in and doesn't at the same time. You can tell that he's having fun doing it, which again, that automatically raises my enjoyment of anything. But I mean, the rest of the cast is just okay. The mystery and the story itself is not that interesting because you find out who the killer is pretty quickly on. I would recommend it if you're looking to complete your looking into 70s cinema. It's not the most incredible film I've ever seen. I did enjoy it, so I can give it a 79.
Nice.
So
nice. For me, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Nadia got me into watching this movie on Thanksgiving because it is kind of a Thanksgiving movie. Really funny. Martin and what's the other guy's name?
Steve Martin and John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy are just have a connection that they just kind of spit off of each other, and it looks like they get annoyed with each other at the beginning, but then become close friends at the end of the movie after having this huge adventure where everything goes wrong. Absolutely love it. I gave it a 90 out of 100, and it's probably a staple for me now to watch it every year during Thanksgiving.
Hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, next up for me was a movie I went and saw on Sunday, and that is Heretic, which we just talked about in the box office earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I went in really excited for this, and I left kind of disappointed. First off, Hugh Grant is incredible in this movie. I absolutely loved his performance. Also, Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East are also very good in this movie. Which is good because the movie is mostly just the three of them. So if one of them wasn't that good, it wouldn't have been as entertaining in that regard. The cinematography is also really good in this movie. There's a couple of shots in particular that are really, really good looking and really convey the kind of tension, what's going on. Not a particularly scary movie. I wouldn't say go into this expecting to be scared. It's more of a suspense thriller. But where this movie does fall apart a little bit for me is the story. In the beginning, it is very intriguing. There's a lot of potential that could go with it. In the second act, you're kind of like, okay, it's kind of switched it up a little bit. What's going on? And then I feel like in the end, it just completely missed the landing with its kind of reveal. I'm not going to spoil it here for anyone that wants to go see this movie. It continues a problematic trend. That's all I can really say. It's a mixed bag. I think the performances are worth seeing for this movie. And if you're at any way intrigued by it, you should go see it. But, I walked out a little disappointed. So. Okay. And finally, another iconic movie that I checked out this week was The Karate Kid, which I had never seen before. And it's a feel-good 80s movie. Really
it is
the best thing I can say about it. It just doesn't break any ground narratively. It doesn't do anything to improve on the mold. It's it's exactly what you expect it's going to be from the very beginning. If you've never seen it before, you can still know exactly where this movie is going to be and where it's going to end and what's going to happen. I would have appreciated a little bit more variation, something to change it up just a little bit, but it just kind of felt by the numbers, by the book. I do think that the ending is also way too abrupt. I think I would have liked to have seen some more resolution and maybe what happened after the event at the end of the movie. I don't know if there was a sequel greenlit yet before this came out.
Maybe not.
It did annoy me a little bit that I was like, well, what happened next? And because it just ends. It's fine. I think I would have really enjoyed it much more if I had seen it as a kid and kind of had some, more positive memories about it. But I can see why people like it, but I don't know why people hold it in a super high regard. How did this get other sequels and a TV show and a remake? Although I've heard the TV show is better. So who knows? Okay. The Cobra Kai show.
Yeah.
But that was it for the movies that I checked out this week.
Yep. For the wheel. Last movie that I did was Apocalypse Z, The Beginning of the End. This was a really down-to-earth zombie movie. It has zombies in this movie, but you're just following one guy the entire time, and it's more about his interactions with humans and how he's surviving in this apocalypse, which is very nice to see. It was super cool, nice. It was like gritty and dark and a little down to earth horror. I wouldn't call this a horror movie. I would call it like a thriller movie, because there was no like too many jump scares or anything like that I would prefer.
Just wasn't scary.
Yeah, but it was still really good. So I give it a 77 out of 100. And the only thing that sucked though is the ending, because it kind of just ends abruptly, and you're like, okay, so we have to be getting a sequel, pretty much.
Yep. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the movies we watched outside of the wheel spins. So let's go ahead and get into it. Never seen E.T. Exactly. That's why I'm going back and watching a lot of these iconic movies. And
I love that face. Love it.
You know what's funny is I own the movie. I own it, but I still haven't watched it. So
okay.
Can't say I agree with the Karate Kid reviews. I feel like there's more to it, but to each their own. I mean,
yep.
Art is subjective, so I don't know. Just okay. But again, I wasn't a kid when it came out. I wasn't like, it wasn't something I had seen until I was 30 years old, and so that also may have an effect on it.
Doesn't have that nostalgia behind it.
Exactly. Apocalypse Z is exactly what I would have expected if there was an outbreak. Okay. I didn't see if Nadia reviewed it, but you'll have to let us know what you gave it, Nadia. Okay. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get into the movies we covered on the wheel spin last week. I'll go ahead and go first with my short, which is Canvasback Duck. Gave us a 53. I think there's some really strong character animation here. Like, while the backgrounds are fine, the characters feel like they're moving so much more fluidly than any other short that I've seen in a while. Aside from that, it's just okay. I mean, if you're bored, go find it. The problem is you have to go on like the Internet Archive or somewhere else to watch it. It's not like it's on Disney Plus, which kind of feels weird. I don't know why it's not on Disney Plus.
I don't know why they don't have classic shorts on Disney Plus.
There might be some rights disputes or, like estate things. It could be anything.
Okay.
But that was the short that I watched. Kevin's was...
It was another... Was yours a Donald Duck?
It was a Donald Duck.
Mine was a Donald Duck as well. I give it a 60 out of 100. It wasn't the best story that was happening. It was basically slavery because Donald ate somebody's food, and he had to work for it. So that's what it was. The animation was really good though, with the falling logs and the brightness of the grass that he moves and stuff like that. So that's why I give it a 60 out of 100, but really no story to be told, and that's what kind of gave it a little bit of a downer for me.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, first movie I checked out this week was Food Fight.
How long is this movie?
That's a great question. It is an hour and a half.
Damn, that must have felt like 3 hours to you.
It's an hour and a half too long. On my Letterboxd review, I said my concise professional review. No. Why does this exist? Of all of the items that are considered lost media, why can't this be lost and never found? This movie. By 2012, we've had so many incredible and beautiful CGI films. We had like movies like WALL-E in this time. Like
Transformers.
The CGI in Transformers is good. I mean, maybe this didn't have the money, but like, was there not enough money for this movie? Was there not enough talent? Was there not enough time? Like, as much as I had a visceral and violent reaction to how bad this movie is, I'm so curious as to how and why it exists. Because it's kind of one of those things like it has to be a legend. The story is awful. The performances are terrible. The animation is unbearable. Everything about this film exudes an air of incompetence and regret and an amateur quality to it. I would say that I hope the people involved don't work again, but I'm trying my best to be a nice person. So I will hope they got better work after this. I hated this movie, and you should too. So.
We'll leave it at that. Mine was Paddington, the bear that loves marmalade. Really good movie, a really good kids movie with just a family night movie is what I would describe this movie as. There are some funny parts to it. The CG was kind of okay for me. Like the pigeon scene with the lady up on the roof was kind of, that was kind of rough. But a lot of I was gonna say human humor. I don't know what that means. Adult humor in this movie kind of persuaded me a little bit to like it a lot more. And I can't wait to see actually Paddington 2 because you said 2 is better than 1. So
just saying. I mean, the movie probably the single best advertisement ever for marmalade.
Yeah.
I really want a marmalade sandwich every time I watch that movie. And I don't even like fruit or jam or anything like that. But I want to try it. Alrighty, and my last movie is the one that Kevin picked. So I picked Paddington for Kevin this last week. Kevin picked My Fair Lady for me, which is you don't have to apologize. It is an Audrey Hepburn 1964 musical, which I was excited. I haven't seen Audrey Hepburn in anything, actually. This is my first film watching her, and she is fantastic in this movie. She really has to play two different people that are the same person. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She is fantastic. Also, Rex Harrison is in this movie. First time I've seen him in a film, which, fun fact, if any of you know Family Guy, Stewie is based off of Rex Harrison. So, fun fact.
Oh, really?
But he is also fantastic, even though his character is really a piece of shit. He is clearly having a blast performing the role, and he's actually singing. Audrey didn't end up singing, which I found out later, but he did sing his own parts, which is really cool. This movie, the sets are immaculately designed, the costumes are impeccable, and the music is also really good here. Particularly, I Could Dance All Night is a really great piece of music that entered my top movie score playlist that I have while I work. However, I don't really enjoy this movie because I think that first off, I am never someone that says a movie is bad because it's too short or too long. I will say that something is not paced well enough, or it could have been paced better, because that's more in line, right? Just because something's 3 hours doesn't make it a masterpiece, and something is 120 minutes an hour 20 or whatever doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Length doesn't matter. It's how you pace it, and did you tell a complete and full story? This was like 3 movies jammed into one. And it's just way too long. There's no reason this movie had to be 3 hours long. You could have cut so much out of it. Everything with Eliza's father, the romance between her and the gentleman is not that interesting. There's just a lot you could have cut out of this movie. The story is just not that good. When you look at it, it's really awful what Rex Harrison does to Audrey Hepburn in this movie, and yet she's okay with it. It's also just a very boring movie. I will say that. Even with its music, with its good music and its good production design, a little bit more of a mixed bag. This may be something that I've learned to appreciate more. I can see myself appreciating this as time goes on, maybe. But on first viewing, I just really did not vibe with it. But I'm still glad that I watched it, though. So, alrighty.
All right, next up for me was Burn, 2019. Mr. Hutcherson is in this one. And this one was an interesting movie. I didn't know where it was going to take me throughout this whole movie. And I really enjoyed it. So it takes place just in one place, which is the gas station, and kind of just gas station shit happens. And then there's some twists and some turns, and you don't really know where it's going half the time. And I don't want to spoil it because I feel like if I spoil it, it'll ruin the movie for some people who haven't watched it yet. Just because that's how good I think this movie is. Hutcherson is amazing in this movie, and the girl who plays the cash lady, I forget her name, is really good about being very maniacal and deceiving in this movie. So and I loved how it took place in one place, didn't hop around places or anything like that. So I gave it an 82 out of 100.
Yeah, it's nice when if you ever notice that a film is in one location for most of its time, it probably means that it didn't really have that large of a budget, or they were just going for a smaller scale with this movie. And it's about how well you can use those two things.
It was great.
Yeah. Alrighty, but that's gonna be it for the movies that we reviewed as a part of the wheel spin this week.
Wheel spin.
Is Food Fight in your unwatchable list with Norbit and Battlefield Earth? Which is something that I talked about with Joey. Yes, I would actually put that in my third unwatchable list. Also because it's really hard to find. I mean, like, outside of renting it. I thought I could just find it on, like, Internet Archive because it's so
Memeable.
bad that people would have posted there. But no, I had to end up renting it, unfortunately. I had to give them money.
No.
Actually, I can't say that. Hopefully it went to those people and they're doing better now. That's how I'm going to rephrase it. But yeah, it's not a watchable movie at all. It looks like it's... Like, you know when they do like a CGI previs? Like how they want to do a scene, they use like stock assets.
Oh, I know exactly what this movie is.
That's fucking terrible. All right, sorry for my French. But alrighty, let's go ahead and if anyone has movies that they would like for us to add to the wheel spin, please start getting this out there. But Kevin, it is of course time for our favorite part of the show, and that is
the wheel of Rolos, like movies. Roll the movies.
Oh, okay, well, that's a new one. But yes. Go ahead and submit those in for today. Let me see here. Alrighty. Fox Pixar, about time to recommend a short, Porky and the Beast from 2021. Let's see here. It is not on Letterboxd, so unfortunately we cannot add it to the list. Horror and More would like for me to... Let me put it up on the screen here. Would like to watch, or for me specifically, to watch Apocalypse Z.
I love how different her things are. Apocalypse Z, Ma, and hey, throw in Stuart Little.
Stuart Little. I think I've already reviewed Stuart Little, but let me double check. I have already reviewed Stuart Little, so that will be a Kevin movie. It's on YouTube, yes, but it is not on Letterboxd, so it's not something that we can keep track of and review. So that was already something that we have said. It has to be on Letterboxd to recommend. Billy Boy, are these shorts? I'm guessing yes. Okay. Billy Boy.
Billy Boy. Hey, you want me to put it up on the screen? There you go.
Sure, thank you. Symphony. I should have done that from the beginning. Symphony in Slang.
Hockey Homicide. I want that one.
Okay. Hockey Homicide. Great name for anything.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's not a horror movie or a slasher movie. The Big Snit. That's one letter off from being something completely different. Rabbit Fire. I actually went ahead and I didn't include it on my list, but I did watch some what's it called? Some
shorts.
Looney Tunes shorts this week. Some of the ones that were some favorites of mine when I was a kid. There were all the ones with Gossamer, Joey, if you know who Gossamer is. If you don't know who Gossamer is, I will be surprised. If I can pull out a piece of Looney Tunes knowledge that Joey doesn't know, I'm going to be surprised. So Joey, if you
surprised, Joey.
If you know who Gossamer is, let me know. They do have a second name as well that's used in one of the shorts. But his main name was given to him later, actually. I just realized you're on a computer, though, and so you probably can just look it up. And then be like, yeah, I knew that. Any other films that you would like to submit, you can go ahead and do that now. We'll go ahead and give it one more minute. So what are you hoping to get this week, Kevin?
I want the hockey one. Hockey Murderers or whatever it was. I already forgot the name.
Hockey Homicide.
Yeah, Hockey Homicide.
And yes, Joey, you're right. Yeah, it's the big red hairy monster.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah, his name is Gossamer. Although he didn't have a name in the first short he was in. The second short he was in, his name was Rudolph. And then later he was given the name Gossamer in the short with Marvin the Martian. So.
Okay. Ooh, I would like to see a Marvin the Martian one. That would be cool.
I don't know if there's one on here, but
no, that would be cool.
Now the Internet Archive's back up, you can get anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another 20 seconds or so. Alrighty. 10 seconds. Alrighty. Alright, and that's going to be it. I think I went first last week. Kevin?
Oh, yeah, you can go first. I'll go first this time. I was going to say you can go first again.
Alrighty, Kevin, your first movie. Or short.
Or short. Oh, short? No, it's not going to be short.
Safety.
What's a Disney 2020?
Let me go ahead and double check. I think it's a movie on Disney Plus, but let me be sure. Or it might be a short. Let me see. Oh no, Safety is a sports drama. A drama inspired by the empowering story of former Clemson University safety Ray McElrathby.
Okay.
So Kevin got a sports movie.
Yay.
Kevin's a lot. Well, I'm not a sports person at all, so I'm glad that you got that.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a good movie though. So
it could be.
Alrighty, and so my first one will be hopefully it's a short. I like having a little bit more. Never mind. Watch Stillwater.
What's that?
I believe that's the drama with Matt Damon.
Oh. Yeah, it is. His daughter gets kidnapped or something. Yeah. I know. I have
to rent it, but I have heard decent things about it, so that's good.
I remember it because Nadia's Theater used to play it, and all the elderly people went to go see it.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty, Kevin's second spin.
Hockey Massacre, whatever it was.
Hockey Homicide.
Homicide.
You can still watch it, even if you don't get it land on it. And The Book of Eli.
Oh, see, this is what sucks. I know what the ending is.
Oh, well. I don't, so don't say it. All right. So that's Kevin's second movie. My second movie is Executive Decision. I'm making this one a short.
Okay.
If it doesn't land on a short,
like a short movie?
Short is closest.
Do you like basketball? Do you like 2 times it?
I think it says Duck Pimples. It's so small now I can't read it.
Duck Pimples.
No, that's not what it says. What the heck does it say? Oh, dark? No. What the heck? What does that say? Oh, yeah, it is Duck Pimples.
Duck Pimples.
Okay. I thought I was crazy. All right, that's my short. Executive Decision. I like having some suspense and like having my last one be a movie. So that's why I did it.
Okay.
Kevin, your third one. This will be your short.
Yep.
So let's see what you get. Round and around it goes. Where it stops, we'll know in a minute. And it's a short. Normal.
Wait, is that not Norman? Oh, I thought it was Marvin the Martian.
not the same, but yeah, I can see it. All right, so that is it for you. Let's go ahead and spin for my movie. Watch me get basketball again.
That would be pretty funny.
It would be pretty good.
Or if you get me, I'll just pick a movie from the list.
Martyr. Oh God, I've been waiting to watch this for so long. I'm so glad. Martyrs is one of the most disturbing movies ever. So I'm super down for it. Is it on anything? It's usually on like Shudder. It's on Tubi.
On Tubi.
A young woman's quest for revenge against the people who kidnapped and tortured her as a child leads her and her best friend, also a victim of child abuse, on a terrifying journey into a living hell of depravity. Yeah,
Interesting.
it's basically like this shady group of people. They torture people to the brink of death so that they can try and see what's on the other side. So, yeah, can't wait to watch it.
Wow.
I love disturbing shit, so I am all over this. That makes me sound like a psychopath. Anyhow, so this week, Kevin will be watching the film Safety over on Disney Plus, as well as The Book of Eli, which is one of those ones I haven't seen either, so I should probably check it out this week and add it to my list. And the short Norman Normal. For me, I'll be watching the drama film Stillwater, then the kind of horror, torture-y porn movie Martyrs, and then my short will be Duck Pimples. So I don't know what that means, but we'll find out.
Duck Pimples.
But that is it.
Weird.
That is it for the shorts the wheel spins this week. So thank you all for submitting your choices. Before we go, Kevin, we haven't done this for a while, but what have you been up to over the last week? Anything you want to share with the class?
We went on Tiana's Bayou Adventure today. We went to Disneyland, so it was very good. The animatronics in there are really good too. Like, it's like top of the line animatronics, which are super cool.
Awesome.
Other thing, I just finished episode 5, Dun Dun on Netflix.
Dun Dun or whatever it's called.
Or Dun Dun, yeah. Which is really, really good. It's beautifully animated. And then I'm halfway through episode 1, season 2 of Arcane. So,
gotcha. Yeah, I actually just finished the trilogy arc, the current arc for Arcane today. I hate how they spaced this one out because I just want to know what happens. But it is still very, very, very good. And then when you're watching Dun Dun Dun, I started watching, I'm trying to think, it's called Food in Dungeon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, and Nadia wants to say how drenched we got as well on Tiana's Bayou.
Yeah,
so
apparently that ride gets you soaked.
Oh, Nadia had a poncho on. If she didn't have that poncho on, I think she would still, her shirt would be still wet from how much water was on. Like, there was water already soaking our shoes a little bit on the floor when we got in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So that was the name of the show, is Delicious in Dungeon. Is
Yeah.
the anime that I was watching. And then I started rewatching Disenchantment, which is the creator of The Simpsons. It's his like fantasy show on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
started watching that again just to see if I can finish it, because I only got through season 2. So, but yeah, that's all we got going on. So that's about it. But super excited for you guys to see our upcoming movie club episode, which comes out this Friday, because it's a big one, folks. We're finally taking Kevin to Middle Earth. So we have the first film in the Lord of the Rings trilogy coming up on Movie Club this Friday, The Fellowship of the Ring. So that'll be live at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just you have it in time for whatever you're going to be doing. And then, of course, obviously, we have our show here, which is usually on Wednesdays, only on Tuesday this week, just because of a work conflict tomorrow for me. So thank you all for kind of shifting around and joining us on a Tuesday. But we'll be back to Wednesday next week. So no worries there. But that is about it. So thank you all for joining us this time. We really appreciate you being here and, continuing to check us out and hang out with us. Again, we appreciate it. We love you for it. So until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen, everyone. Have a good night.